While Rampage of the Super Warriors is generally considered to be one of the least impactful sets in the history of Duel Masters, it marked an important era in which large-scale tournaments began for the first time. Gen Con 2004 became the largest English Duel Masters tournament at the time with 45 entrants. Because this was the very first large-scale tournament, the concept of net decking wasn't really a thing yet, so the field was wide open for innovation. The most popular deck of the tournament was unsurprisingly Water Nature Evo decks, but a few surprises did manage to take the top spots. Christopher Rogers took home the gold, piloting a Mono Light Diamond Cutter deck. Christopher's secret sauce that set his Mono Light deck apart from others was that he splashed 4 copies of Terror Pit in order to better deal with large evolution creatures. This choice proved to be exactly what he needed in order to win the tournament. Kenneth Whitworth placed second with a Mono Nature Beastfolk deck that included 4 copies of Raging Dashhorn, a card that becomes a powerful double breaker for just 5 mana when you have only nature cards in your mana zone. By giving up on water and liquid people, Kenneth made a deck that became more aggressive, but with the drawback of running out of gas more often. The 3rd and 4th place spots were taken by Christina Page and Joseph Montalbano, both piloting their own variations of blue-green Evo decks. At this time, the focus of these decks tended to be on Beastfolk and Fighter Dual Fang due to its ability to generate advantage. Both decks splashed in 4 copies of Terror Pit. In this series, both Michael and myself will be taking you on a journey through time. Each episode we will look at a time in Duel Masters past, showcasing the evolution of the metagame as new sets are released. Using real decks from that time, we will play a best 2 out of 3 match to relive the game as it once was. This is the History of Duel Masters. Hello everyone, and welcome to Rampage of the Super Warriors. Now, we did kind of allude to this at the end of the last episode, in that this set doesn't really change that much, right? We get a few really good cards added with like Emerald, Searing Wave, Mana Nexus, but it doesn't really change what decks are viable at the time. So as you can tell, this wheel looks very similar to the wheel that we used last week. Now, we did delete the decks that we used the last week off of this wheel just to keep a little bit more variety, so you will not be seeing any Water Darkness Control or Fire Water Tempo, even though those kind of decks were still around at the time.
There are a few new decks here that I'll just touch on briefly. In Mono Nature Beastfolk and Mono Water Liquid People. And from the name you can probably tell, this is just one out of the 2 colors from the Liquid Beast Evolution deck that I do think is the strongest deck in the meta right now. The advantage of going mono-colored is so Mono Water Liquid People, you can run a few more bounce spells, which is efficient removal, and you also get access to some powerful mono water cards from this set, particularly Angler Cluster and Psychic Shaper. And then ditto with Mono Nature, you do get access to some powerful mono-colored cards from the new set. Raging Dashhorn, I believe is what it's called, which is just if you're in Mono Nature, it's a 5-mana double breaker with really good stats. So that's a pretty good reason to be Mono Nature.
I'm going to be hoping for Liquid Beast Evo. I only have 1 respin, so let's see what we get. I really want something good, just not Rush. That's all I'm asking for, really. And it's Mono Red Rush. That is a respin without even thinking about it. All right, let's go. Come on. Give us something better. Okay. Mono Water Liquid People. This should be interesting.
So anyways, what are we trying to spin for this week? Well, we are on a 2-0 lead in this series so far, and I intend to keep the undefeated streak going, which means we're pretty much spinning for Liquid Beast Evolutions here. I think that is the strongest deck, and honestly, the 2 decks that I think can really compete with it are Water Dark Control and Water Fire Tempo, which are both removed from the wheel because those are the 2 decks Ben and I played last week. So really, we just want this Water Nature deck and not really anything else. That's what we're trying to spin for. I may be okay with some of these other decks if the spins don't seem to be working out. But yep, we get Destroy 'em All. That is not Water Nature, so we're gonna spin again. And we get Destroy 'em All again. I think we're going one more time. There were some I might have been okay with in the second spin, but that is really not one of them. Well, I would have rather played Destroy 'em All, but I guess we're stuck with this. We're playing Mono Red Rush. At least these should be quick games. I'm not too hopeful for our chances, but let's just see what happens.
This is the deck I will be bringing to today's duel. Now, it's a little bit harder than you might think to find like a tournament-winning mono blue deck from this era and find the deck list online, because this deck wasn't really as popular in Rampage of the Super Warriors as it became in Shadow Clash of Blinding Light. Because in the next set, Shadow Clash, you get access to Aqua Jolter and Aqua Guard, two insanely strong liquid people that make it really easy to start playing the Evos more consistently. However, I do know for a fact, based on tournament reports from the era as well as my own experience, that this deck was around back then. So I kind of had to piece together what a deck would have looked like by using a later deck list that I found as a template. So this deck is based on Joshua Torres's deck that he won a Tournament of the Five Civilizations with in set 5, okay? So I actually had to edit a few things around, but really the only cards that he was able to use that I'm unable to use is Aqua Guards and Aqua Jolters. And it was a really easy replacement because he wasn't using Angler Cluster, and that was one of the draws back in Rampage of the Super Warriors. So I switched out the Aqua Guards for Angler Clusters, and then switched out the Aqua Jolters for Aqua Soldiers so that I still have enough liquid people to run the Evos. Anyways, let's just go through the card by card and kind of explain how this deck actually works. So it's kind of based on just putting tempo on the board, building up a field of good creatures, and then evoing on Crystal Lancers and Crystal Paladins to clear out the way to end the game. The whole time you want to be bouncing cards that your opponent plays to their hand so that they can't do any damage to you, while using Angler Cluster to just put up a gigantic wall that most decks will have a really tough time getting through. So we have to have a pretty strong lineup of liquid people if we want to run these powerful Evos, so we're going to be running with 4 Aqua Vehicles because it's the cheapest liquid person in the game. It's low power, it has no effect, but it's pretty easy to pay 6 mana and do Aqua Vehicle straight into Crystal Paladin, or even 8 mana to do Aqua Vehicle into Crystal Lancer. Aqua Hulk is by far the best liquid person that's around right now. 3 mana, 2000, draw a card, gotta have it as 4-ofs in this deck. Aqua Soldier is also pretty good just because it's really tough to deal with. It just keeps coming back, so it's a pretty decent tempo card. If it dies, well, guess what? It's back to your hand, and then you can resummon it later and try to evolve it from there. Angler Cluster is like this insane wall of a card when you're playing mono blue. For only 3 mana, you're able to put a 6,000 blocker on board. Now, any deck that's trying to be a little bit aggressive is going to just be completely stopped in their tracks. Bark Whips, they can't get through anymore. They have to wait until they can hit like the Fighter Dual Fangs or the Crystal Lancers. Even Armored Blaster Valdios, which we saw last week how much damage it can do, that's going to end up trading with this. So it's just a super strong blocker. For 3 mana, you gotta be using it at this era because it's that good. Unicorn Fish, we saw in episode 1 and 2 how much damage this card can do in this early meta when speed attackers aren't around. Let's see if it's just as good in a mono water deck. We got the 2 Crystal Paladin. If I'm up against mono light, this is pretty much one of the win conditions. Bounce all blockers back to the owner's hand. That's going to clear up the field for all your little weenies to just start going in. And 5,000 power is actually not that bad, so it's a super good card. Core Isle, everyone knows him and loves him. 5 mana, return a card from the battle zone to the top of the owner's deck. Insanely powerful tempo card. We're going to be running 2 Aqua Bouncers. Now this is just like an extra blocker, which is nice to have. It's also like another Unicorn Fish essentially, but actually it's also a liquid person, so that's why it's going to be really useful to us. It's kind of on the expensive side, but I really needed a few more liquid people in there, and the effect is pretty decent, so I felt like running 2 copies was pretty good. We got 4 Crystal Lancers. Crystal Lancer is like the boss card of the deck. 8,000 power is insane, and if you can't block it, it's just so much pressure being put on. It's going to kill almost any other creature. It's going to go in. It's going to win the game. Watch out, because here comes the Crystal Lancers. We don't really have any kind of hard removal, which is one of the weaknesses of this deck. But we do have the 4 copies of Spiral Gate because we got to take the short-term temporary removal. Now, this deck you do want to be putting a little bit of pressure on early because you can't let the game go too long. If you do and they have hard removal, they're probably just going to scale out in the end game because you're just going to temporarily deal with threats while they're going to be able to like permanently remove stuff with terror pits or natural snares and stuff like that. So we do have to have the removal that we have. One of the few shield triggers that's going to do anything at this point in the water civilization, so it is what it is. It's still pretty good for 2 mana, gotta play all 4 copies. 2 brain serums just to draw extra cards. We could be running more, but I wanted to keep the deck at 40 just to keep it a little more consistent. 2 crystal memory is going to be really helpful to just search out exactly what we need when we need it. Honestly, we're not really running any one-ofs that we really need to be searching all the time, but like getting Crystal Paladin at a clutch moment could be really good, or even like getting a Unicorn Fish could be really good sometimes. Or maybe you just really need the Aqua Vehicle to get some extra Evo bait on board. Whatever it is, it can help find it. And finally, 2 copies of Psychic Shaper. This is another new mono water support card that comes in Rampage of the Super Warriors. You get to reveal the top 4 cards of your deck and add all water cards from them into your hand. But as you can see, we are playing mono water, so this card is essentially 6 mana, draw 4 cards. Absolutely insane. But the reason we're not playing it as a 4 of is because realistically, by the time we get to turn 6, we really want to be putting the pressure on with Crystal Lancers instead, right? This is more of just like in the off chance that we're unable to put the pressure on, it's going to help just refill our hand, give us the options, and then start doing it on the next turn. Ideally, we don't have to use it, but it's there just in case we do. So that's the deck that we're going to be using. It's pretty strong, but honestly, this, like I said earlier, this deck does get a lot stronger in the next set once we have access to better Evo bait, but it's still pretty good as is. On top of that, this deck holds like a special place in my heart because the first tournament that I won, the Tournament of 5 Civilizations for Survivors of the Megapocalypse, I won it with a mono water deck. It didn't look quite like this because I had new cards that aren't out yet, but I just love this deck. Let's see what we can do with it. It's time to duel.
Okay, so here's the deck list we're taking to today's episode. This is a mono fire rush deck that's credited to a Jordan Robson, who piloted this list to a first place finish at a local tournament in Ontario around this time. And for this week, unlike in the last 2 episodes, I've actually chosen to use the exact deck list that we found online. And there is one interesting thing I actually want to point out about the deck list here, which is the inclusion of these Armored Dragon cards at the top end of the deck. Looking back, after having the experience of many years of deck building, we can look at these cards and kind of say, like, realistically, I don't know if we're ever going to get to 6 and 7 mana in a deck like this to be playing these cards, and even if we do, the game has probably already fallen out of our hands anyways. However, realistically, at the time of Rampage of the Super Warriors, this is just what most Fire Rush decks looked like. We hadn't really figured out yet what was good and what was not, and a lot of Fire Rush decks just had aggressive creatures like this, and then whatever double breaking rare dragon cards that people had access to as their finishers, basically. So anyways, yeah, this is the list. I will just go through the card by card. Realistically, the point of almost all the cards in this deck, though, is just play creatures quickly and try to win the game. But anyways, yeah, first we have 4 Deadly Fighter Braidclaw. Again, one of the only 1-drops in the game, and really the only good one that can continuously attack. Next we have a bunch of cheap 2-drop humans, which is good because we are running many human evolutions in this deck. We've got 4 Immortal Baronborg, 4 Brawler Xyler, and 4 Mini Titan Get, all humans. Next we have 3 Baby Zop. This is a 3-mana 2,000 power creature, but if you're playing mono fire, it's 4,000 power instead, which is just a pretty good stat line for its cost at this point in the game. Next, 3 Armored Cannon Bulbaro. This is a human evolution. It's not a double breaker, unfortunately, but we can still use this as like a pseudo speed attacker, basically. Play, say, Brawler Xyler for 2 mana, and then Evo this on top of it for 3 mana. It can also get quite big in this deck because it gets plus 2,000 power for each human in the battle zone, for each other human, excuse me. And if we've got like 2 or 3, this can swing over like Crystal Lancer, this can swing over Fighter Dual Fang, whatever. So that can be relevant sometimes. Next, 4 Armored Blaster Valdios, just a really powerful human evolution, a double breaker for 4 mana that can attack immediately. Just a really good card here. Next we have 2 Rothis the Traveler. This is a 4 mana 4000 creature with a come into play effect where both you and your opponent have to destroy a creature. And so this can potentially like remove their last blocker. It's a bit unfortunate that your opponent chooses the creature, but it can still be good in the right situation. This is a bit out of order. I don't know how it got set up like this, but we have 2 Explosive Dude Joe, which is just a 2 mana or 3 mana 3000 power human for our evolution cards. Then in the spell lineup, we have 4 Volcanic Arrows and 4 Tornado Flames. Shield triggers with removal effects, just really good. Volcanic Arrows is also pretty good to hard cast in a deck like this, obviously, because since we're trying to end the game quickly, we don't really care about destroying our own shields in the process of playing this. And then we have these Armored Dragons. We have 2 Bullshock Dragon, which is powerful double breaker. Garkago Dragon as a 1-of, which is another powerful double breaker. This one can also attack untapped creatures, which is potentially really good. 1 Bullzard Dragon. This is a bit of an interesting one. This is not a double breaker, but it does have the effect that your opponent destroys one of their mana whenever this attacks, which can be useful in the right circumstances. And then lastly, we have 1 Blaze Cannon. This is sort of a finisher for the mono fire deck. You can see you can only cast it if all your mana zone has fire cards in it. But it gives all of your creatures power attacker plus 4000 and double breaker, which is a really powerful effect. Realistically, I do think it's going to be hard to get to 7 mana, so I don't know if we're ever going to be able to play this. Same with like all of these other armored dragons here. But anyways, yeah, that's the deck. We are basically just trying to kill our opponent as quickly as we can. So let's hop into the games and see how this goes.
Welcome everybody to the favorite set of all time, Rampage of the Super Warriors. Don't you just love this set, Michael?
Yeah, this set is great. All the cards are just so good. It did so much for the game. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, don't you just love how much the decks changed? Like, wow. Yeah. We have like what? We have Emerald, we have Searing Wave, and we have Mana Nexus.
Oh, first off, I don't know who this we you're speaking of is.
Oh no.
I have none of those cards.
Oh god. Okay. Well, let's load these decks in then, I guess. And let's
I already loaded mine actually.
Oh, okay, there we go. So 43 cards to 40 cards. Probably not a mirror match. Okay, let's roll the dice. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, send it. Okay, 9-2. I will take that. I believe I'm going to go first.
For sure, you're looking at a real behemoth of a deck here, Ben. 43 cards.
Nah, I'm going first.
Deep control deck here.
No, the deep control decks, that's not till later. We good. Good luck. Alright, let's see what we got. Luck. Oh my god, this is funny.
Oh no.
This is just like, honestly, I wasn't that excited to spin this wheel, but there's just memories in here. We're gonna put Aqua Soldier to mana and end the turn.
Aqua Soldier, okay. That is, I wonder, could be playing that mono water deck, which seemed quite fun. We're not playing mono water, as you will see in short order here, because we're sending Bullshot
Dragon.
Yes!
Yes.
We're gonna run out the Deadly Fighter.
Oh, I love to see it. That's so good. Okay, yeah.
And,
so
go ahead.
Oh my god, this is gonna be fantastic. This is like when I made that wheel, like I really wanted this to happen. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put the Braid Serum to mana.
Looking like mono water to me.
I'm gonna Spiral Gate you.
Spiral gated it. Okay.
I'll end the turn. I gotta keep the pressure off. God, there's so much nostalgia in this game already. I love it. I'm just looking down a Bullshock Dragon.
Right, we're gonna send Tornado Flame to mana, and we're gonna run out Brawler Xyler, and you can go ahead.
I'm gonna draw a card.
You already know where this deck is going.
I'm gonna put Crystal Memory to mana, and I'm gonna run out my own second Aqua Soldier.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fair too.
One was in the mana zone, one is on the field now, so we're good. I just realized that we're in set 3.
I guess we send the baby Zop to mana.
Oh, okay. I was about to say we're in set 3, but like
another Deadly Fighter.
It's all base set cards, except for the babies. Alright, is the Brawler's Isler going in, though? That is the question.
I don't think it is. Go ahead.
Okay, I will draw.
I'm playing Mono Fire, but, like, I don't want to just let you swing into Brawler's Isler and send that back to your head.
Yeah.
It feels so bad.
Alright, I'm gonna pay 4 mana for, honestly, a History of Duel Masters favorite here, Unicorn Fish.
Alright.
And I'm gonna bounce the Brawler's Isler. Now, honestly, do I think about breaking shields here? I might, because what are you gonna trigger this, or, like, get from it? I mean, no, not yet.
I do have Tornado Flame in the mana zone.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, nah. Even though, like, if you Tornado Flame, whatever, I get my guy back. Unless you Tornado Flame the Unicorn Fish.
We're running out Deadly Fighter and Brawler's Isler.
Wait, this is flashbacks from last time you Deadly Fightered me 3 on the field.
Yup. See, anyways, these have to attack, so we're gonna go in.
Yep.
And we're gonna go in. There.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Alright, let's draw.
I've just got these Deadly Fighter magnets in my hand. Or maybe I'm stacking them to the top, I don't know.
Let's see. Is it? I hate that I'm afraid of, like, all these little Deadly Fighters.
I mean, turns out the weakness of the mono water deck is it's very hard to permanently deal with anything.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why I was thinking, like, I have to go in at some point. I almost think it maybe would have been better to go in with the Aqua Soldier, but was I expecting, like, this many Deadly Fighters? I'm not sure.
I mean, I can't say I blame you. You don't really want to play around the third copy of Deadly Fighter against a deck with no card draw and no search.
I think we want to just run out the Aqua Hulkus to draw a card.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, that helps. Honestly, the reason I played the Aqua Hulkus was because I really just wanted to draw Spiral Gate.
That's fair.
So we're gonna bounce that, and then we're just gonna go in and we're gonna remove these guys.
Alright.
So Unicorn Fish dies, but Aqua Soldier dies, but he actually goes to my hand instead.
Yep.
And I will end the turn.
We have the same number of cards in our hand. What is even happening?
It's the bounce. The bounce is good.
We'll send Tornado Flame to mana. We will run out Brawler's Isler, and we will cast Volcanic Arrows targeting your Aqua Hulkus.
Alright. What's
funny is I was at one point thinking about playing this on your Aqua Soldier, which would have been just like 2 mana Spiral Gate, but with a Destroy My Own Shield effect.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
But so Deadly Fighter's going in at Shield 3.
But I got the Spiral Gate, and honestly, it's so funny because this Brawler's Isler just keeps going back.
Yep. Go ahead.
I'm gonna draw.
Am I going to regret using the Volcanic Arrows when you're about to play an Angler Cluster?
I don't have the Angler Cluster, but I'm gonna do 2 for Aqua Vehicle, and then 4 to turn it into Crystal Paladin.
That's respectable.
And I'm gonna kill the Deadly Fighter.
Alright.
And then I'll end the turn.
I mean, we'll just run out Brawler's Isler. Go ahead.
Alright, I'm not too worried about that. Especially when I can tap 5 mana for Core Isle.
Oh, that does not feel good.
This Brawler's Isler is just not having a good time today. And actually, because you Volcanic Arrowed and you are down less shields, I am gonna break 1.
Alright.
Because I know I can't hold off weenies forever. I have to do something at some point.
Alright, that's fine.
And while you have nothing on the field, seems like as good a time as any.
Well, how do we want to do this? This is a bizarre hand. Okay, we're gonna send Armored Cannon Bulbaro to the mana zone.
Yeah, that thing is atrocious.
And we're gonna play Brawler's Isler and end the turn.
Oh my god, what is happening? This Brawler's Isler is gonna cry. Because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna summon my Aqua Bouncer.
Okay.
This is the worst Brawler's Isler of all time.
Oh,
Alright,
I know.
I feel pretty good about this game at this point.
Alright,
we're going
that's good.
Because notably, Aqua Bouncer actually can attack.
Yep, that's good.
Alright,
triggering Volcanic Arrows there does not feel so good, it turns out.
No. Like, honestly though,
Send
Volcanic...
Blaze Cannon to the mana zone. And we're gonna play Brawler Xyler and then evolve it into Armored Blaster Valdios.
Okay, so he finally did make it. The Brawler Xyler did something.
We've got to attack the creature, though. I mean...
yeah, I'm gonna block with my Aqua Bouncer.
Alright, that's fair. And go ahead.
Alright, we're just gonna do this because it's funny. You did it to me, so I'm gonna do it to you. I'm gonna evolve my Paladin into a Lancer, but you did it to me the opposite way in the history.
Yes.
And then Core Isle is gonna go in.
Yep, okay.
And I don't think a card
trigger
exists.
anyways.
Yeah, and then Crystal Lancer. Yeah, because Volcanic Arrows can't kill it, so...
Yeah, GG's.
GG. I'm gonna go out on a crazy limb here and assume that you're gonna go first in this next one.
We do get to go first this time, so we're definitely gonna be going first. And no, this play is gonna look quite familiar. We're gonna send Bullshock Dragon to mana. We're gonna play Deadly Fighter Breakclaw.
God, you always have it.
Go ahead.
Alright, I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna play Aqua Soldier to mana once more. Go ahead. I think it's the same first turn. It's just
we're gonna send Brawler Xyler to mana and play Brawler Xyler.
God, okay.
Deadly Fighter's going in.
Alright, I am going to trigger Brain Serum to draw 2 cards.
I don't care about that. Draw as many cards as you like.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't think it makes any difference. I'm gonna put Psychic Shaper to mana instantaneously.
I mean, it's good. Just this is not the matchup you wanted.
And I'm gonna just continue to Spiral Gate Brawler Xyler out of existence.
I mean, alright.
Because what else am I gonna do for 2 mana? Summon Aqua Vehicle?
We'll send Armored Cannon Bulbaro, and I mean, boy is back.
He's back, he's back. Will
no
he be back for
Deadly
long?
Fighter to follow up, though. Deadly Fighter attacks, and then go ahead. I mean, with this deck, your game plan is just slap your hand on the board and say deal with it.
Yeah, deal with that. Volcanic Arrows, I'm calling it.
I do have Volcanic Arrows. Not in my hand, though, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, good. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Okay.
Well, that thing can attack.
Yeah, it cannot attack, which is actually like the big drawback of these water blockers.
I read this. I was thinking about next leveling you, but I actually read this card wrong. So yeah, we're just going to evolve Armored Blaster Valdios here.
Okay.
So I think I do want to crash. Well, I'll double break. You can block if you want.
I'm gonna absolutely block the double break. Get the Valdios out of here.
Deadly Fighter's going in.
All right.
And don't Angler Cluster me again, please.
I can tell you.
Please, he's not gonna do it, right?
I'm gonna pay 2 mana.
That's not 3 mana.
For Spiral Gate.
See it.
Oh, I can't target it. But yeah, there we go. Okay, go ahead.
Alright, that's... I mean, not an Angler Cluster. We're gonna tap
I wish it was Angler Cluster.
For Deadly Fighter and Brawler Xyler. Go ahead.
Alright, I'm gonna draw.
No teleportation, me. That's not 5 mana.
No, it's 3 mana for... no, what am I gonna... Maybe it's 3 mana?
I just love
it's 3 mana.
Thinking right now.
It's 3 mana for the Aqua Hulkus.
Okay.
2 mana because I cannot let Brawler Xyler ever be relevant in this game. Go ahead. God, this is such a funny game.
Oh, this is a tough one, alright. We're sending Valdios to mana.
Okay, there's something I really hope you're doing. Oh no, wait, baby?
We're gonna play Brawler Xyler, and we're gonna play Babies up.
Yep.
And Deadly Fighter's going in.
Alright, it is my Crystal Memory.
God dang it. Okay. Whatever, we've got Volcanic Arrows. We can rip them off the top.
I'll take this. Okay.
You could also take Teleportation. Might be better. I don't know what you want to take. Anyways, go ahead.
Alright, I'm gonna draw now.
Fortunate thing, when you're playing Mono Fire, your opponent has all the hard decisions to make.
Yeah, I take the Angler Cluster that I searched on Crystal Memory, and then I
Oh no. Don't
play another Angler Cluster, and then I kill!
Alright. We're fighting a bit of an uphill battle now, I think.
Yeah.
I guess we play this. Tornado Flame the Aqua Hulkus.
Yeah, I mean, you're killing some Evo bait.
Yeah, go ahead. We cannot attack through this wall right now.
I'm gonna pay 5, and I'm gonna Core Isle the Baby Zop. Go ahead.
Baby Zop's back. Go ahead.
Draw 6 mana for Aqua Bouncer.
Yep.
And I'm actually gonna bounce the Brawler's Isler because it's a human, and you don't have the mana.
That's fair.
Immediately to Evo it. Now, I am considering breaking a shield, because more likely than not, you're just gonna summon a bunch of things on me. I'm gonna tap Coral, and I'm gonna go for a shield.
Alright. Yep, that's good.
Go ahead. Slowly whittle you down while bouncing. That's gonna be the game plan here.
Right. I mean, it feels really bad to summon Deadly Fighter on this field, but we're just gonna play Deadly Fighter and Brawler's Isler.
Honestly, it's probably like the only thing you can do, or like the only thing worth doing. Let's put that to mana.
Like, if you go in and you run into some volcanic arrows, this is a scary board.
I'm gonna play Aqua Bouncer number 2. And I'm also gonna bounce Brawler's Isler.
Alright.
Because it's so funny how many times I've bounced that. And do I even want to break? I don't even think I do. Well, you have Tornado Flames. Yeah, I'll break. Why not? I'll give you one chance to get it. I've got the Aqua Bouncers just in case.
Oh, no triggers.
Alright, go ahead.
Why? Why does this happen? We're just tapping 4 mana. Play Brawler's Isler and Mini Titan get. Deadly Fighter's going to attack your Core Isle.
No, he's not. I'm going to block
anyways.
it. No, I'm blocking that.
Alright, and I mean, go ahead.
Core Isle is not to be chipped away at. Alright, and then I believe we just put you out of your misery. I'm going to play an Aqua Vehicle. I'm going to pay 6 mana, and I'm going to drop the Crystal Lancer.
It could still have double Tornado Flame. This
I'm going to go in with Core Isle.
Yet. Alright, that is an explosive dude, Joe, which is not a trigger.
Then we're gonna double break, and then you gotta have 2 insane triggers here. It's possible.
Right. Oh, we're going to trigger Baby Zop and Immortal Baronborg. What you gonna do about that?
I'm gonna attack with Aqua Bouncer.
That is good enough, it turns out.
Oh my god, I actually love this episode because honestly, nothing showcased what the actual history of Duel Masters looked like more than this right here.
Oh, for sure.
Because like this is what people played, mono water and like mono fire and stuff.
I mean, I distinctly remember both of these decks.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we played both of these at some point also.
I mean, anybody that's ever played Duel Masters has played Mono Fire at some point. So yeah, let's just put these bad boys out there and just appreciate this work of art that we're gonna be looking at. So the whole time you were talking about me like, oh, I hope you don't draw teleportation. But the joke's on you, I wasn't even running teleportation.
Oh jeez.
Who needs teleportation when you've got Aqua Bouncers and Unicorn Fish and Core Isle?
I mean, that's a fair argument, honestly. So the deck I was playing last week, like, it definitely felt like I had too much bounce in that list.
Yeah, I mean, this is mono blue, though, so, like, can you possibly have too much bounce? That's like you need it, because that's all you can do. My god, it's so funny that, like, Armored Cannon Balbaro is so bad.
I didn't draw Rothus the Traveler at all.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Like, how did people actually play Armored Cannon Balbaro?
I think it's not the worst. It isn't optimal, probably not.
I think it's just to give you more of like that pseudo speed attacking. But
right,
like,
yeah, that's the value.
Garcago Dragon was in this deck?
Garcago Dragon.
God. This is insane. Alright, so now that it's out all on the table, I must ask you, did you respin, or did you just want to play the real history here?
Oh, I respun twice and then got stuck with this.
Oh,
I was
god.
Spinning for Water Nature, though.
Oh, you just wanted Water Nature? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, if I got, like, Water Light on the last spin, I probably would have played... Honestly, I might have played Diamond Cutter, too, quite honestly.
Yeah, when I spun my wheel, all I said was, like, not rush, not rush, not rush. And I got mono red rush, and on my one respin, I got mono water, and I couldn't complain.
I got destroy 'em all, mono red rush.
It does not get much worse than that.
I think destroy 'em all might have been the second best deck we had access. I don't know. It's hard. I feel like Water Nature was way better than everything else.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like mono water here, it's pretty good, but I just really don't have Aqua Guard and Aqua Jolter.
Mono Nature's okay too. Yeah, I don't know.
And I mean, you can't discount Diamond Cutter though, also, because that did win the biggest tournament that happened in this format, which was Gen Con 20, or just, I almost said Gen Con 2024, Gen Con 2004. So I mean, like it was definitely a viable deck.
Yeah.
Mono Fire, like, was it viable? Was it gonna win one of those big tournaments? Never in its life was it gonna do it, especially because you're looking at decks like this. You don't have like the Rickaboos, the Pyro Fighters. You don't have the stuff that makes it really like the fast, aggressive deck that it was kind of once known as. And so people ended up playing like the Bullshock Dragons, Garcago Dragons, all this other stuff. But realistically, like, it's just not. It wasn't very coherent. It was more like an anime deck than a real deck, if that makes sense.
Shobu played Mono Fire.
And it probably looked something like this.
I did watch the anime, probably unfortunately, but he played Blaze Cannon, and he played Bullshock Dragon, and he played Rothus and Armored Blaster Valdios, and just like other random fire creatures, probably some of these.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember Blaze Cannon, Bullshock. Bullshock was like his signature card.
Overall, I would say we had a fun episode. Did we showcase the highest level play that existed at the time? Absolutely not, but I think it was a really important episode because that high level like play didn't really exist that much. Like, the Tournament of the Five Civilizations was the first like big tournaments that really got going as like a regional tournament, right? But this predated those, so all we had was small locals where people ran stuff like this, and like just people weren't good at the game. There's not much else to say other than that.
I mean, even at the first Tournament of Five Civilizations we went to, I got like top 2 with a deck running Alum and Legendary Binor.
That's pretty bad.
Just to give an idea of what you could see sometimes.
Yeah, I will say though, I am excited for this next episode with Shadow Clash of Blinding Light, because that is where these Tournament of Five Civilizations come in. And so for the first time, we really do get a better idea of like what the top metagame decks were, because we have more deck lists that were tournament winning lists that we can go off of. Here we had like Gen Con, and we had random locals, but like half the locals, like maybe 5 people showed up to, so like it doesn't mean anything. If you won with this fire deck, does that make it good? I don't think so. So anyways, that was a fun episode. Rampage of the Super Warriors. Bad decks for a bad set, I'll take it. I mean, it makes sense, right? So anyways, we're just gonna catch you guys on the next episode, where we're gonna get a lot more really interesting decks that you will not want to miss. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.